Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Tonight Show podcast for today, the 25th of June, live on YouTube. With a very laggy laptop tonight. I must admit, my laptop is really slow. So bear with me if any issues on the buffering and come in. I'm joined by Labour Party supporter Zach Jones around all latest news today. Hello, Zach.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, mate.
It is definitely not helping with the heat, and my fan is on fully tonight. So yes, I'm sure. Hopefully, this internet will improve tonight as well. We've got lots of news from politics to sport to the World Cup. Man, we've got loads to talk about, and we're going to start off with my villain of the week this week, or villains of the week. The first one going to Sir Keir Starmer for resigning as Prime Minister, and I have to say, the Labour leadership now all but in turmoil as Andy Burnham now wins a by-election in Makerfield. Starmer's prime ministry lasted 2 years, in which Labour have definitely shown what it's like to British taxpayers, farmers, and of course the Mandelston saga, bringing the Prime Minister down in the end, losing confidence from his whole cabinet, and now it's all been looking like now that a leadership contest could go one way, and it looks like Andy Burnham had a massive selfie the other day with even Rachel Reeves. So it showed you that everyone else distanced himself, and on Monday, or earlier this week, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, announced outside Downing Street, despite the very warm weather we've had this week, that he is resigning as the leader of the Labour Party and of the Prime Minister. How many Prime Ministers? We've had loads of Prime Ministers in the last 10 years or so. Wow. Starmer becomes the next latest one to be shown the door of Downing Street, and he will be leaving there after the new leader has been announced. Anyway, I have another nomination for Villain of the Week. I'm going to give it to Scotland for their dismal World Cup performance against Brazil. I watched the start of the game last night, and oh my God, the first goal got conceded in about less than 10 minutes. Vinicius Jr. Managed to pick off a Scotland defender who was absolutely terrible in his own half. Brazil ended up winning that game 3-0. I have to say, Scotland were dismal, even if a VAR decision. They got lucky with that a little bit on that one. But I have to say, a dismal showing from Scotland. Complete just defensive blunders everywhere. They just look terrible in defence. And Brazil, well, 3-0 certainly guarantees himself potentially a qualification spot into the next round. But yes, dismal performance from Scotland. And also, as well, couldn't be said with England drawing against Ghana in a stalemate the other day. We played Panama on Saturday at 10 o'clock. So big game there for England. Zach, who are your villains of the week this week?
I have one, and it's going to be one of the same ones as you. That is Sir Keir Starmer, I'm afraid. Yeah, it's fine. It's the end at last. It is the end of Sir Keir Starmer and his prime ministerial run. Someone who had 170 majority only 2 years ago. Nearly 2 years ago, actually. It's only a week today, 2 years ago, until Keir Starmer was in power. And now he's going to, within weeks, end, or maybe just possibly in weeks, end his time as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland as well. It is another monumental moment in British politics. We are now going to be on our 7th Prime Minister within 10 years, which just shows you the state of UK politics, that we're having 7 in 10. That's one every year, except for every 3 years, if you want to take it. So that's how bad things have got. The whirlwind of politics and all that sort of thing as well. But yeah, the writing was on the wall after Thursday night and into Friday morning. The writing was over the wall the weekend as well. And the reason for that being is that Andy Burnham won spectacularly in Makerfield. He won with a bigger margin than what people were expecting. I think Labour did really well to get out the vote that day and get postal votes overall. And it proves that name power does actually work as well. It's not often in UK politics that sometimes name alone can get you elected. I mean, you never see that with MPs these days and something like that. But for local government, Andy Burnham was incredibly popular in Manchester, like really, really popular. If you remember the last election, he got 65% of the vote, which shows you how popular he is across the region. And his approval rates are very, very good as well. And he outperformed in any. If it was any other, I think Labour candidate, he would have lost that. They would have lost that seat to Reform. But Andy Burnham's popularity and connection with the area shows, that people were able to relate to him. People want voting to sort of not only get, I suppose, either way, evolve some sort of change, whether that was Keir Starmer change or Andy Burnham change. It's a bit of both. But yeah, Andy Burnham make it hard to campaign, really did set a success story. Then, and obviously, once he won, a lot more Labour MPs and eventually the cabinet started turning against Keir Starmer because they saw the margin of victory, and they thought, well, he cannot stay on. He's that popular. If we continue on this downward spiral, that the Prime Minister would be too unpopular. So I think the cabinet realised, the MPs realised that Andy Burnham's power alone made him successful, and they sort of suggested to Keir Starmer time was up. The person, obviously, Keir Starmer was closest to is obviously his wife, Victoria. If Victoria suggested that Keir Starmer would go, then obviously we knew it ended up in that situation. The rumours were mumbling over the weekend because he did spend the weekends in Chequers, and there was a lot of reporting suggesting that Keir Starmer would announce the timetable for his resignation. He did exactly that on Monday, and when he announced he was going to resign by the latest September. Now, by the latest September doesn't mean it's September, because actually it could be about the 17th, 18th of July when Number 10 will have a new occupant, a new owner. That could be if no other Labour candidate, no other Labour MP puts their name forward and gets 81 nominations to stand in the contest. So there's going to be a period of nominations now next month, and it's going to be a very short period, by the way. I think it's like 9th to 15th or something like that, the 7th to 9th, 7th to 15th, where they're going to be nominations are going to be open for Labour MPs to put themselves forward. One person we thought who was going to stand and now isn't going to stand and is rowed behind Andy Burnham is Wes Streeting. Wes Streeting has decided after Keir Starmer's resignation that despite the noise that he'll be making, we will not be standing for Labour leadership. That has now released the path for Andy Burnham to become Prime Minister, the next Prime Minister. To me, it suggests the fact that Wes is back down may make me think that he's going to get a senior now, they've denied this, by the way, but it makes me think that Wes Streeting is going to get a senior position inside Andy Burnham's cabinet when he forms it, in probably just a couple of weeks, maybe. That's what it sounds like to me is going on. And yeah, I can't see another reason, because Wes has promised, constantly said there will be a contest, there will be a leadership election, all sort of things as well. And he would stand. Well, something has obviously decided, it was gone through his mind, decided all those material differences, sort of small little differences, really is not worth a leadership contest, and he decided that as well. So yeah, the path is now clear, you would feel, for Andy Burnham to become Prime Minister. Now, there was whisperings that Keir Starmer allies were wanting Darren Jones to stand, because he's obviously very close to the Prime Minister, and there's a lot of qualities that he has. Darren Jones decided not to stand. Al Carnes, though, is another one. Now, even though it's rumoured, he's not sort of declared whether he is or isn't standing. Now, I don't know whether he is. Will he get 81 MPs? I don't know. I can't see it. If he does get 81 MPs, then that delays Andy Burnham's path to victory until September, the latest. The Labour membership, if it did go to a vote, would easily vote Andy Burnham, no doubt about it. I feel like it. But yeah, we're basically we're living in Andy's world now, and the person that has only just become an MP since last week is actually this week, because he was sworn in on Monday to much ovation. The person that was an MP since Monday may well end up becoming Prime Minister in the next couple of weeks. That's quite astonishing. It's not, I don't remember that happening before. Someone becoming an MP in 2026 and then becoming Prime Minister quite shortly afterwards. I don't know, but yeah. Andy's going to have to, it's not got long now to make possibly a few weeks to prepare his cabinet and everything like that. Rumours about who could the cabinet be. Could it be Wes Streeting? Obviously, he decided not to stand. Could it be Shabana Mood, who is also quite popular inside the cabinet? Could it be Ed Miliband? There has been Miliband, Burnham allies sort of want him to be Chancellor, but there's some that are sort of divided on it because of his, green credentials and everything like that as well, and he's sort of indication that he wants to do sort of a loosening of borrowing and everything like that as well. His name's been shouted out there, but whether he'll get it, I don't know. Remains to be seen. But Andy Burnham could well be Prime Minister on July the 18th if nobody else puts the name forward, and I suspect that it's probably unlikely. I can feel that anyone else would have 81. So we're now starting to live in Andy's world and just know it. The king of once was known the King of North, now become the King of effectively King of Westminster and King of the UK, because he's got a few weeks ahead to get ready. And in my view, because obviously will there be a contest? No. If there isn't a contest, fine. I think it's fair enough. Andy Burnham seems like the popular person. Will there be a general election? No, I don't think there will be. Will there be some policy changes with Keir Starmer? Yes, I feel there will be some to try and get back on track as well. I feel like he's in very much listening mode at the moment. But yeah, he's got a lot to prepare for. But given his popularity, where can he convert it into UK wide? He's obviously got the action. He needs to get down to business very soon. I think he's perfect man for the job, to be honest. And hopefully, he's sort of got that personality, that decent likability, that characteristic. Hopefully, he's got the policyship to go along with it as well. But anyway, bring on Andy, I say, come 17th, 18th of July.
Andy Burnham, let's hope that he does anyone think, okay, did anyone see him going on the train the other day? Literally, he had to get a suit kind of delivered to him very quickly when he went into Parliament. He's always the man up north, very casual, kind of, if you see what I'm on about. Andy Burnham's when he was Mayor of Manchester, he used to have these really cool outfits, kind of very casual outfits. You see him in the pandemic wear this worker jacket, and he was out in a t-shirt the other day. Obviously, a lot of prime ministers do dress like that on their days off, but Burnham going into Parliament, he's going to have to order quite a few new suits. Let me say that for one if he gets in to number 10. He's certainly not going to be short on the stock of delivery of suits. But yes, a fast-moving situation. Obviously, we've got the Greater Manchester by-election. And Zach, Restore Britain, certainly, despite Reform UK losing, they actually got some vote in a way. And Reform UK right now, they're kind of hitting muddy waters a little bit.
Yeah, they are, definitely. They underperformed in Makerfield. And also, they underperformed so much. Even if you combined the Reform and Restore votes, there's only a couple of thousand for Restore, but still, they still took a bit of a chunk out of the vote. Even if you do that, if you tally out the Restore votes and Reform would not won even with Restore votes. They would not have won. So that tells you that underperformance. They also lost 2 by-elections in the Essex as well, by the way. I should mention. I think one of them was Rayleigh, and I can't remember the other one. But they lost a couple of by-elections in Essex as well. And the Conservatives have a good night as well. Out of this, if you're forgetting about the fact that there was a by-election in Makerfield, there was also 2 in Scotland. There was 2 SNP defensive, and the Conservative gained, I think it was Aberdeen South, I think it was. From the SNP. They run a campaign on oil and gas. Now, oil and gas is quite a thing in Scotland, so probably quite well targeted on single issue votes. And they won enough of that to be able to take out the SNP in there. The other Scottish seat, the SNP did hold. And then their MP, I think, came with quite controversial swearing in as well, if you didn't see it as well. But yeah, signs of conservative life, I feel. There are just the little signs of life in the Conservatives now after what was, I have to say, a bit of it's been a bit difficult month, but now there's some sign of life. They've actually won a by-election. They've won a by-election in Scotland as well. That's significant. That I feel is significant and also a step forward for the Conservatives as well. But will this translate over the months? We'll have to see. But it's been a good week for Ken Bagnall, I have to say. Been a good week for the Conservatives. And they'll be delighted with the outcome as well with Aberdeen South.
That's all the latest news from the world of politics right now. But we're going to carry on with that, actually. Talk about record-breaking heat now. Has anyone been out this week? It has been hot outside, very hot in some parts. Temperatures over 35 degrees Celsius. I think 36 was declared the other day. Europe also sweltered in over 40 degrees, I believe, in France. Well, I think it was 43. Certainly, my advice, guys, if you're going out in this heat wave, just stay safe. Make sure you wear plenty of sun cream, drink, and plenty of water or soft drinks. Hydrate is also a very important thing. I mean, if we've got fans on tonight and air conditioning on, I'm sure you'll all be staying cool. But obviously, this has caused nationwide issues for trains, schools, education. Some trains have been cancelled. As well, we've had a lot of issues across the country, across Europe, as well as temperatures Europeans sweltered in the heat. More on the news now. I'm just going to get up quickly what has been happening across the European heat wave at the moment. Kind of been dominating the news recently, to be honest, other than the government's resignations. The news is UK brace for hottest June night after 36.7 degrees. The hottest day of that time was 1976. The high was set in Merrifield, Somerset, according to Met Office. Provisional figures make the hottest June day. A rare red warning for extreme heat was placed, which was dangerous to life, currently placed again Thursday in central, southern, western areas of England. And parts of Wales has been extended for a third consecutive day for London for the first time, impacting millions of London and parts of the southeast until 9 o'clock British summer time Friday. As well, on Wednesday night, the UK saw its warmest June night on the record. Oh my God, wow, that's a very extremely muggy night for sure. Overnight temperatures in Cardiff did not drop below 23.5 degrees, 23.5, exceeding the previous record of 22.7. That was set back during the infamous 1976 heat wave. But that record could be broken again Thursday night with temperatures already soaring. There were some scenes, if the people flocking to Brighton Beach, be careful of that cold water shock that the meteorologist on about. That's the, also all nations recorded their highest 36. Merrifield surpassed England's highest 36.1. Hampshire, Wales recorded its highest temperature of the year, 35.6 in Butte Park, Cardiff. The highest temperature in Wales stood at 33.7 in 2000. Scotland recorded its highest temperature of the year in Dumfries and Galloway with 31.2. Northern Ireland also recorded 30 degrees in Castledog, County Tyrone. There's the records there. Brighton Beach is certainly packed. A lot of beaches packed. As well as I said, National Rail warning people to travel only if absolutely essential due to the weather warnings and buckling on lines. South East Water announced a temporary hosepipe ban for around 850,000 people living in Kent as well. Yes, I'm not going to go into the climate change statistics and explain whether the world is melting or not. But as I said, the heat wave hasn't just affected here, it's also affected many parts of Europe as well. I know that for the F1 this weekend, we're expecting temperatures to reach 34, possibly 35 in the Austria, or in Spielberg, Austria, for the Austrian Grand Prix this weekend. Also, hot temperatures are expected for the Spa 24 hours on the weekend as well. That's one event I'm certainly going to be trying to tune into this weekend as well, along with the F1. So, yes, plenty of very warm sport as well. I mean, Zach, the weather's been hot and very hot in many parts of Europe and the UK. And it's caused definitely lots of issues, and particularly for the public and also transport operators and education as well.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling the heat at the moment. Yeah, 36 today, and I've seen the forecast for my tomorrow. It's 36 degrees where I am tomorrow. Crikey. Yeah. It's been sweltering. The UK has been bracing records. Today it's been 36.7 degrees in one area. Today. Yeah, they've been breaking records, and it is worrying actually to see that obviously with climate change and everything like that as well. We're going to see this more frequently, more as well. But I'm and more, and we're going to see this more frequently, and we're going to keep getting hotter. And yeah, it is sticky. And if, by the way, not only a heat wave, I suppose those who are Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, had a very difficult night's sleep, not because of the heat, but because of the lightning storms around us. Like I wasn't expecting that. It was absolutely cracking. I mean, I was woken up at 4-5 o'clock in the morning by them, and then that's how much sleep I bloody got, because I've listened to those crackers of the sound, and it was really irritating. But yeah, it has been sweltering. It's 36 degrees. Good news is though, if you're not a fan of this, then we are. Look, sounds like from what I'm reading is the temperatures are going to go back down to a bit more like average next week. Thank God. Let it be warm, but let it not be overly warm, because this has been the temperatures have been completely uncomfortable. Some areas today are getting really intense lightning storms. So tonight, if you're in Scotland, if you're in parts of Ireland, and if you live in Devon, Cornwall, and so maybe there's like the north of England as well, you're going to see some intense thunderstorms tonight, actually, as well. That'll be worse than the Essex one, so I'll tell you about that. No doubt about it. But yeah, we've been breaking records. It's been unlike this. Has been unlike this as well. And I don't know what next month will bring, but right now it's going to be just around about average next week. Thank God. I don't want to I don't want to be looking like crackers again next week, but but yeah, it is well. And it's not just here as well. In France, temperatures have been hitting 43 degrees in some areas as well. Spain, Portugal been horrible. The heat is forced like what some areas to stop going in. Trains are being sort of delayed and cancelled because of this. Some schools have asked to work from home. There's been a wildfire in somewhere as well. I can't remember where it was. I think it's somewhere up near Manchester, the sort of Manchester region, where there's been a fire today. And yeah, it is. Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible conditions. It's too warm for this. I can't lie. It is far too warm, and it's too sweltery. And most of the areas as well are on red heat alerts, by the way, which means it's the highest possible warning as well. So yeah, stay hydrated. I've tried to stay hydrated as you can. Try not to be in the heat for too long. If you want to go to the beach, fine. But yeah, they'll be particularly busy as well. And yeah, it's not fun. It is not fun being in this heat. I can't lie. Oh,
At least countries like America are built with air conditioning and many other things. The UK is not built for you. The UK needs air conditioning. The thing is, we're not built for like America, aren't we? We're not built with all these hot summers. I went to Orlando back in 2019, and went to Walt Disney World, and in all the hotel rooms at Port Orleans Riverside and many other places, they had air conditioning in there. So in a way, it was nice. We got into the room; it was nice and cool. But now having a fan in the UK without air conditioning in my house, in my flat, it's not ideal, to say the least. And I know for a fact that at least in America with the World Cup, they probably have air-conditioned hotel rooms, for sure, and plenty of hydration breaks. So yes. Also, as well, there's been a deadly earthquake in Venezuela, as well. 188 people have sadly lost their lives. The number could be far higher than what we got here, as rescuers have been searching for those who have been covered in the debris. This was rescuers are searching the rubble in Caracas and the state of La Guaira, where UN believe more than 100 buildings collapsed. The quakes hit with magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 on the Richter scale, half a minute apart. It's the second strongest earthquake which hit Venezuela since the 1900. I mean, Zach, this is a very serious event happening in Venezuela, and one that I think has had some very deadly consequences.
Yeah, it's been yesterday was quite an active overnight. Yesterday was quite an active round of earthquakes, and one of them, I'm afraid, was in Venezuela, where there's been a very unfortunate, very significant earthquake there as well. And I'm just going to try to get the figures up here. The death toll at the moment is rising at 188 in Venezuela. There was a 7.5. There were actually 2 earthquakes in a matter of minutes. So there was a quake with a 7.2. And then another earthquake afterwards of a 7.5 magnitude. That was hit just afterwards as well. Rescuers are searching the rubble in Caracas, the state of Leguía, where the UN said more than 100 buildings have collapsed as well. That's something. 188 people killed, and there's more than 1,500 people injured after back-to-back earthquake as well. In Caracas, that and Lagara as well. There's been so much going on there. Lots of demolished homes, buildings, and everything like that as well. And the UN has been getting involved, and there's also been support from a lot of other countries as well. A very horrible event that's happening in Venezuela. My thoughts of the people there in Venezuela are, because there have been many thousands of people's lives being affected by this horrific earthquake as well. And there's still search and survivors. And I'm afraid I have a feeling the death toll and injury is going to continue to go up whilst this earthquake, the aftermath of the earthquake, continues to play out.
Horrible news in Venezuela. Rest in peace to all of them. Now moving on to sports news, we're going to start off with the FIFA World Cup. Like I said, England did not win the other day against Ghana. Scotland losing 3-0 against Brazil, with VAR playing its part in them games there. Certainly more controversy around the use of the... Also as well, has anyone been seeing covering their mouth and getting sent off? As more fears, according to some people, that the World Cup's gone woke on some comments there during the week. Come on to that in a minute. Anyway, currently at the moment, Germany are 1-1 against Ecuador in that game as well. Also, I think Curacao are playing Ivory Coast or Curacao. I can't. My pronunciation's terrible. On that one, Ivory Coast 1-0. Ivory Coast at the moment. 41 minutes played. They're the early kickoffs. Like I said, there's some later midnight ones from 3 a.m. Turkey, USA, Paraguay, Australia 3, Tunisia, Netherlands, Japan and Sweden tonight. I believe these are the last round of group matches for the FIFA World Cup. We also have, as I said, England drawing the other day. They've got Panama on Saturday at 10. Morocco beat Haiti 4-2 from being 1-0 down, as I mentioned there. Brazil 3-0 winners against Scotland. Switzerland 2-1 against Canada. Bosnia and Herzegovina 3-1 against Qatar. Croatia beat Panama 1-0. Colombia beat Democratic Republic of Congo 1-0 as well. We've got more matches this week as well. Uruguay, Spain, Group H, Cabo Verde versus Saudi Arabia. New Zealand played better, struggling Belgium side. They will need something out of that one at 4 a.m. in the morning on Saturday. Egypt and Iran, 4 a.m. Saturday. Panama, England, 10 o'clock. A big must-win game for England after a dismal performance the other night. Croatia played Ghana at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and then there's more matches on early Sunday morning, which we see Colombia, Portugal, Democratic Republic of Congo versus Uzbekistan, Algeria and Austria, Jordan, Argentina, round of 32. One of the matches has been confirmed. South Africa will play Canada on the 28th of June, start the round of 32 off. That is at 8 o'clock. And then there are some other matches that have needed to be confirmed at the moment through group stage, pending results. Zach, what was your opinion on the FIFA World Cup and also dismal performances for England and also Scotland losing against Brazil?
Should I come to the England performance first? That was the England performance. Yes, the other day was a tough watch. That was a very tough watch, and it's just I don't think it's acceptable for performing against teams like that and drawing against teams like that. I just don't think it's good enough. I mean, you think Ghana is quite an easy team to win, but I think the trouble is with Ghana is they set up the defense so well we couldn't even get past them, and we suffered the consequences for it as well. There was some good attempts at goal, and I feel like there was good opportunity to score. but they were just missed. And Ghana was just able to get some good defense. Their counter attack was excellent as well. I mean, there was one time I feel like Jordan Pickford could have given away a penalty because of one of the fouls. I'm surprised it wasn't even given the penalty, but yeah, there we are. And yeah, it wasn't a great performance also as well. For Scotland, again, not a great performance as well. They lost 3-0 against Brazil, and they're now on the cusp of exiting the group stage of the FIFA World Cup. I'm glad they got that here in the first place, but yeah, their prospects don't look great at the moment as well. They are playing. They lost 3-0 as well. I don't know what the note. I'm just trying to look through the noticeable results of the last sort of few days and everything like that as well. Portugal won against Uzbekistan. That was good for them. I mean, they had a tricky start. Algeria won against Jordan 2-1. Norway, who I've got in the sweepstakes, by the way, would you believe it or not, I've won against 3 to get Senegal. And that's a good on their one. And I can't see too much surprise. I mean, the only ones I could say surprise, Iran holding Belgium to draw. Spain thrashing Saudi Arabia. That's a good result. Uruguay and Cape Verde. Cape Verde, goodness me. They're doing so well this tournament. They've managed to get another draw. I mean, that is just like incredible. Absolutely incredible. Cape Verde, who drew the first time against Spain, then getting one against Uruguay. I mean, they're just, yeah, it's just brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. And they should be extremely proud, whatever happens the next couple of games, they should be extremely proud of their performance because I think they've been brilliant overall. As well. It's really interesting. But at the moment, I'm watching Ecuador against Germany, and so far, Ecuador are holding Germany to a draw at the moment. Now, if I'm trying to try and find it as it stands at the moment, Germany will win the group, they would win the group as it stands at the moment. And they will play Paraguay in the last 32. And obviously, a lot of things can change because obviously it's the top 2 of each group and the best placed third place team of the other groups will go through as well. It looks like the top 2 at the moment is only guaranteed through. Ecuador as it stands would be out, and so would be Caraco as well. And Ivory Coast would play Norway as it stands at the moment. Now, for England's side as well, if it stands at this stage at the of the draw, we'll have to obviously that will change on Saturday. But if it stands at this stage, England would play Cape Verde. Would you believe it? I don't know who would want to play Cape Verde at the minute. Ghana would play Portugal, and Croatia would be a significant third place enough team as well to do it. Now, the current third place rankings is that Scotland are 7th on the third place rankings at the moment. Belgium are in 9th for the minute. That as it stands, Belgium one of the big teams that could miss out, depending on our results. They need to get a performance in this weekend to ensure they go through. If they lose, they're out. There's no doubt about it. If they lose, they're out of the tournament, and that would be one of the big shocks. No doubt about it at the moment. But as it stands at the moment, we would play Cape Verde. Scotland are just about in the moment, but we're going to have to see what other results happen. Scotland play Mexico as it stands. Brazil have already through. They're going to be playing, as it stands, to be in Japan. We do know that Mexico, well, let's just say, so as it stands at the moment, if we go to the group stage, South Africa are going to be facing Canada. That's confirmed, by the way. Brazil are going to be playing as well Monday at 6 p.m. We don't have an opponent yet, but we know Morocco are also through as well. They're going to be playing the evening time as well. Mexico are through. United States are through. They're going to be playing as well. Switzerland are going to be playing the early hours on the 3rd of July as well. And Argentina are also going to be through as well. But yeah, South Africa and Canada is the only game confirmed at the moment. But there's so much going on at the moment. Our next game's on Saturday against Paraguay. That's our last opportunity. If we win the group, I have to say as well. And that means it puts us in a better position. But I get the opponent. Croatia will take on Ghana. Cape Verde is on Saudi Arabia. Uruguay is taking on Spain. New Zealand, Belgium, Egypt, Iran as well. That's as well coming up over the weekend as well. But yeah, we're in the final phase of the group stages, and by the time we get to Sunday, Sunday, they will be finally finding out. We'll be finally playing full on knockout tournament or knockout football from there onwards.
That is the latest news there from the FIFA World Cup. In a nutshell. Moving on now to the motorsport news. And boy, do I have quite a bit to talk about this. Obviously, F1 is back in Austria this weekend, following Sir Lewis Hamilton's win, should I say, or Lewis Hamilton's win in the circuit for Barcelona Catalonia. And it's forecasted to be, again, a very muggy race, or hot race again, over 30 degrees likely for Sunday's main race as well. Also, announcements for Goodwood Festival Speed, McLaren and Lando Norris will be attending Friday and Saturday. Williams also will be attending. Alpine are attending Thursday and Saturday as well. So thank goodness. It's going to be packed for Festival Speed, man. Tell you what, Alpine are going to be there Thursday. I can't wait, hopefully, to meet Gasly and Colapinto that day. And certainly get to see the fan zone in full swing as well. Valentino Rossi's attending. So many big names from the world of motorsport, and also Williams as well, 30 years ago this year, since Damon Hill won the World Championship in that Williams as well at Suzuka. Also as well, plenty of news on the F1. There's been rumours about Tsunoda replacing Ocon again. The Esteban Ocon Finas saga continues again, for sure. Yes, and also Madrid. The Madrid ring is also gaining more traction as well, as that circuit is going to be nearing completion. Well, should I say nearing completion? The track's still not even built, with only weeks to go till the next race. Also as well, Piastri reveals everything for a McLaren experimental rear wing. Goodness me, active aerodynamics is causing more teams to think, okay, Ferrari was our main benchmark for Macarena-style wings. According to this, McLaren's pre-weekend technical director of applied engineering, Neil Houdini, if I can pronounce his name correctly, pointed several upgrades on the MCL40, including a refreshed rear wing. Okay. Do you think, man, this rear wing is going to flip? Apparently, Red Bull have this rear wing concept. Flipping rear wings? I don't know. Zach, what's your assessment for this weekend's Austrian Grand Prix, and also technical gimmicks by the teams?
Yeah, it sounds like McLaren are bringing an upgrade. Ferrari have got might have an upgrade as well this weekend as well. McLaren's one looks like they're going to be joining the flipping rear wing concept as well. Yeah, we'll be fascinated to see that on the track. Obviously, Ferrari will be going in this with a bit of momentum now after winning in Barcelona last time around. But this is a different circuit actually as well, and this is going to be very fascinating. It's a very power dependent circuit. Not a lot of corners, lots of straights as well. Lots of speed, lots of time on the throttle. We're in Austria this weekend as well. They, as you mentioned, Oscar Piastri mentioned that McLaren are doing a new experimental rear wing. We presume it's the flippy wing that we've seen on Ferrari and Red Bull this season as well. But yeah, it will be fascinating to see what happens this weekend. It's going to be hot. It's going to be, we're looking at 2 to 3 stop strategy because of the conditions and because of things as well. It's going to be very hot. And it's the rarefied heat hazards for the race as well. So yeah, hope people keeping cool in the stands this weekend. Well, let's hope that happens. Hope nobody gets burnt too much as well. But yeah, it'll be a fascinating race. I feel it's going to be very power dependent. It's going to be a hot race. The track conditions are going to be interesting. You think you're going to be looking at tire deg as well is going to be fascinating, and one thing to look out for as well. But yeah, Austria this weekend. Looking forward to it.
4 straight mode zones will be in use for this race on the exit between turns 1 and turns 3, between 3 and 4, and also on the exit of turn 8 and 9. There'll also be a straight mode zone as well. And also Silverstone probably will have some more on corresponding straights. But be aware, guys, if you're attending both of these races, these cars will be very sensitive to batteries, and expect Silverstone next week to have plenty of super clipping. And also, I warn you now, anyone who's going to be... Can I just say, this season's onboards have been terrible. Watching 130R and they're slowing down through a corner. I can't believe how some of the best corners in F1 where you can push to the absolute limit, and now, well, recharge stations. I just hope cops and Maggots and Beckett still retain their charm, because Copse is going to be a bit of a difficult watch next weekend. Watching the cars slow down through there. Oh, please. I hope, well, let's hope what the weather's going to be like. I mean, firstly as well, sprint weekend next week. So anyone attending, and I think, Zach, you're attending next week as well. So I'm sure you'll be interested to see the F1. I mean, look, okay, for anyone who's been to Silverstone, Zach, obviously this year's event is massive, being a sprint weekend. Do you expect fan base this weekend to be pretty huge, given obviously it's a sprint weekend this year?
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's going to be big. I expect Friday this year to be a lot more popular than what it was last year. I mean, Fridays are very busy anyway, but this year's going to be more popular because you've got we've got some meaningful track action in terms of an actual qualifying section, in terms of the sprint qualifying. And we got a sprint this weekend, so I think that should make it really popular. But yeah, a lot of entertainment, a lot on the track, on and off the track as well. Yeah, I've still got to pack my bag ready for next week, to be honest. I don't feel like I've been packed half the stuff yet. So yeah, but it will be fun.
Yes, next weekend, Formula One British Grand Prix, 3rd to the 5th of July. 2nd is when the Sky Sports F1 as well. Shout out to also sad news about Rachel Brooks. She has officially left Sky Sports F1 now. Just confirmed that the other day. Moving on now from F1, we're going to go over to some sports that I certainly will be watching a lot more this weekend. We're going to move on now to reviewing the IndyCar. Actually, we'll come on to IndyCar in a minute. Formula E first. Now, I didn't watch the race, so the results, obviously, Jake Dennis won the last race. I heard it was chaotic from some of the clips I saw. It was a chaotic race in Sanya, because I'm going to come on to Formula E in a minute, because there's been some big news about next year, which I'm going to come on to. Dennis was first, Pepe Marti second. So great result for him, actually, from 18th on the grid. Wow. Joseph Pepe Marti. First, a second place from 18th. Driver of the week today for me there. De Vries was third, Da Costa fourth, Drugovich fifth, down from the start. Gunther, Muller, Verne, Barnard, Degrassi. Then Dan Tickton was 15th, Evans, Rowland, Cassidy, Nato, Mortara. I think they all got DNF'd in that chaotic. I think that was a collision that caused many drivers to DNF as well. But yeah, Zach, what was your assessment on the Formula E in Sanya, and also some recent news that we're going to come on
to? Yeah, I didn't see the race either, because it was God knows time in the morning, so I couldn't really, I couldn't be asked to get up. But from the little bits that I've read and as well, I mean, great dominant race for Jake Dennis. I mean, he started from pole, would you believe it or not? And he started from pole, won from there. Well, the margin wasn't huge, but it was enough to victory. And yeah, he did a brilliant job overall. To not only start on pole but maintain on pole as well. Congratulations, by the way, to Pepe Marti. Wow, 18th from the grid, and he finished in second position. That is a stunning drive from him as well to get onto the podium, and an absolute fantastic result. Fair play to him. He did brilliantly. In some areas where it was a bit instant field, but he managed to work his way through the field. Incredible job as well, and obviously the right place at the right time. Second position is a mega result for him. Nick De Vries, third position, managed to get on the podium, and Thierry Fix-Costa is also a good result for him as well, from 12th to fourth position. Felipe Berger was fifth. Maxim Gunther, another one, 19th to 6th position. Excellent race for him. So did Nico Müller. That's a good result. Good result for Verne in 8th position. Barnard, 9th position. Grassi just squeezing into the points in 10th position, though, and I'm afraid it's Damon Lowes missing out by a small margin as well in 11th position. There was DNF for Edward Matara, Norman Nato, Nick Cassidy, and Oliver Rowland, and also Mitch Elland as well, with an issue, I'm afraid, that sent him out of the race as well. Unfortunate for him as well. That means we've now got just a matter of 3 racing weekends to go now, and the rest of the season are now double headers. So on the 4th and 5th of July, which I won't be able to watch because I'm elsewhere, we got Shanghai. We're staying in China actually, but they're going to Shanghai for the Shanghai Grand Prix. Then late in the month, in 3 weeks' time, they go to Tokyo, and then the middle of August, it's the season finale at London. That'll be the final time it's held in exile before or next year there is a 21 race record breaking calendar. London
Yes.
XL is out, and in comes Brands Hatch for next year. Not hosting
Yay.
Farley, but it's hosting a Formula E race next year. The funny thing is, it's great to see it's Brands Hatch, but they're still calling it the London E Prix. Now I don't quite get this. Unless Kent is in the middle of London, I'm not sure why it's called the London E Prix. But anyway, great to see it back at its Brands Hatch. I think it'll be a perfect circuit, and they'll be running the new Gen 4 cars as well. By the way, let's talk about the 2026-27 calendar, by the way. There are a number of changes to it. There are new additions to the calendar. There is a big calendar shake-up. So Brands Hatch is not hosting the season's finale now. That will be Tokyo. That'll be a double-header race under the lights. By the way, that'll be brilliant. By the way, doing it under the lights. The season is now going to start in Saudi Arabia at the end of December as well. That will be that'll be the 18th and 19th December, where they will be starting the season. That'll be double-header now. Then Mexico will be the third race, and then there'll be a sort of a double-header in the United States, because Formula E will now be going to the circuit in the Americas for the first time as well. I imagine they'll use the shorter layout for that one. But yeah, that will be going to Circuit America next year on the 6th of February as well. There's also a brand new race, as well as going to Brands Hatch. Formula E will visit Zandvoort for the first time as well on the 18th and 19th of June as well. That is going to be absolutely brilliant to see Zandvoort on there as well. No Formula 1 next year, but instead you get Formula E. That's not a bad option at all to be your replacement. But yeah, there's new venues. There's 21 races on the calendar next year, which is, wow, quite something as well. I think it spans about 14 sort of venues as well. It'll be the longest season. It's going to start in December as well. And it will be December 18th to 19th, and will finish in Japan under lights on the 24th to 25th of July. That's not no bad thing at all. That's a good calendar, I have to say as well. Madrid is going to be a double header. There's also going to be a format change next year as well for the double header races. Now, if you haven't seen it, there's going to be some changes next season. For the double header races, there's now going to the Saturday race, well, basically the first race, is going to be shorter. It's now going to be called E Prix Unleashed or something like that. Something like that. So it'll now be a sort of a shortened 30-minute race where they'll be racing on full power as well. That will be one of the big changes as well. So the first race of double, now called E Prix, will be a 30-minute sprint race without pit stops and with 6 minutes of attack mode, where the cars will be using high downforce aeros, Ceratins, they use in qualifying. The second race on a double header will be the main E Prix, which will be the usual 45-minute race with a mandatory pit stop and 8 minutes attack mode, where the cars will be using the low downforce aero setting. The point system will also mean qualifying now awarding points for every driver that reaches the duel stage, with additional points awarded for winning duels as well. So that is a big change for qualifying as well. Now that only applies on double-headed weekends. For single-headed weekends, it's normal E Prix, but for the first race on a double-header E Prix weekend, it'll be a 30-minute sprint race now rather than a 45-minute sprint race. I don't mind that change, actually. I think that's all right. I think there's a nice experiment with the double-header a little bit. And I think we'll see if it works. And I don't mind that. It's just going to be full throttle, everything. The ones with the normal E Prix races are going to have, I think, tap mode and pit boost as well, for the full E Prix. So yeah, I don't mind that format, Chad. I mean, I'm interested to see how that all folds out. As far as I'm aware, they're still going to do qualifying and practice qualifying and the for the E Prix Unleashed. So yeah, we're going to get a full set of sessions as well. I think it's some good changes next year, and I'm actually looking forward to it.
Thank you, Brands Hatch. Finally, Formula E coming to Brands next year. I've never been this excited for Formula E before, because I actually think Gen 4 could be the best era yet. These new cars, the David Coulthard drove, the one in Monaco, they're so fast. 0 to 60, what? 1.8 seconds? I mean, that's nuts. The acceleration on these cars is going to be completely different to Gen 3 Evo. It's going to be the most powerful Formula E cars out there. They're going to have the biggest batteries, I think it's 600 kilowatts or something. But also as well, having Brands Hatch host a first premier single-seater race. I know they do the F4s, which is a GB3, which is smaller. But this is going to be the first big elite level sport, single-seat sport, to come to Brands Hatch since 1986. Since Formula One last race there for the British Grand Prix, European Grand Prix was called back then, British Grand Prix, won by Nigel Mansell and Williams. Wow. Honestly, Brands Hatch, Formula E next year, I'm going to get them tickets booked soon because I'm going to go to this. Thank goodness. Honestly, I reckon Brands is going to get a big amount of attendance next year for that. That is going to be huge. Definitely up for that next year. It's going to be a busy month for May for me with the British Touring Cars and GT World Challenge for sure. But having Zandvoort on the calendar as well is great because I think Zandvoort's a great circuit. Great GT track, classic F1 circuit, Zandvoort. Yeah. What a time to be a racing fan right now, for sure. Anyway, moving on now to the IndyCar and NASCAR. I want to start with the NASCAR, Zach. Kevin Magnussen not happy with Noah Gragson during that weekend after the two of them locked horns.
Yeah, he got a bit feisty as well, didn't he? He was a bit argumentative. Yes, you've heard that right. Kevin Magnussen was driving a NASCAR race as well. I think it was a one-off, if I remember rightly. He got in a bit of a tussle. I think it was Noah Gragson. And heated argument after the race, you can clearly tell. But that was part of NASCAR's weekend at the Army base as well. Congratulations, by the way, to Corey Heim for his first ever victory in the Cup Series. Obviously, I don't think he's a full-time runner, so he won't get points out of it. But congratulations to him. What was an eventful weekend. Lots of heavy crashes as well, especially in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Well, there were some very heavy hits into the Armco barrier as well. Corey Heim winning the Bubba Wallace was the second place. Kyle Larson was third. Zane Smith fourth. AJ Allmendinger was fifth. Chris Buescher was sixth. Ross Chance seventh. Right, and Hurst was eighth. Ryan Blaney was like Michael McDowell in 10th position as well. Wow. That was some weekend, and obviously, I thought that quite action-packed actually, and I'd like to see them go back there next year as well, if possible. And it sounds like they're going to try and get back there next year as well, which I hopefully does happen because I thought it was a very eventful weekend, and it was that sort of different type of road course that he's got sort of a lot of varieties and everything as well. Brilliant stuff. But now next weekend is they're going back to the road course because it's going to be the Toyota Save Mart 350. And next weekend is also as well is the start of the 2026 in-season NASCAR Challenge. This is where, for the top 32 drivers to qualify for year two as well. So basically what it is that they will be going head-to-head. It's basically they're going to be going, each the 32 drivers will be going head-to-head with each other over the course of 5 races. And it starts this weekend in Sonoma. And obviously, all you got to do, you will be drawn against someone. And whoever you're drawn against, if you beat them, you go through to the next round of the in-season challenge. And then that process continues all the way up until I think it's Indianapolis. It is Indianapolis, actually, where the winner, there'll be 2 left at Indianapolis. And the winner, and whoever wins out of those 2 drivers, whoever finishes the best out of 2, will win the in-season challenge and win £1 million of prize money as well. So it starts this week in Sonoma with a TNT portion of the the TV rights in America continues there as well, and it will finish in Indianapolis on July the 26th. As 2 remaining drivers as well. So let me tell you sort of. Who's going to be against each other as well, because there's 30 to get through. So Tyler Reddick will take on Alex Bowman. Austin Cindric will take on Brad Keselowski. Daniel Suarez will take on David Gilliland. Carlson Hopecar will be against Ross Smith. Chase Briscoe will go against AJ Allmendinger. Ty Gibbs against Austin Dillon. Bubba Wallace will face Michael McDowell. Chase Elliott will be taking on Noah Gragson, who got into that tussle with Kevin Magnussen. Hamilton will be against Ty Dillon. Eric Jones will face Logano. Chris Butcher will be up against Nemeth John Hamaniche. Christopher Bell will take Ross Chastain. William Byron will be facing Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Carl Lawson will face Ryan Herbst. Shane Van Gibson will take on Ryan Priest, and Ryan Blaine will take on Josh Berry. Now, whoever wins out of those 30, whoever the highest place winner out of each out of the battles will go on to the round. Next one will be on to the round 16, 8, 4, 2, and then obviously, you know the drill, the winner as well. But the in-season challenge begins this weekend at Sonoma. It's on the race court, the road course as well. That'll be something to keep an eye out for, and I'll obviously be tracking that each weekend as well.
And also, IndyCar took place at the weekend, and Zach Christian Lundgaard won again for the first time since Indianapolis. Yeah,
congratulations to Christian Lundgaard on his victory there. Again, I didn't really catch too much of this, unfortunately. There's a lot happening as well. But Christian Lundgaard won the race. I'm just going to get the result here as well. Congratulations to him. He finished just ahead of here we go. David Malukas in second position. Will Power was third. Griffin Simpson was fourth. Alex Palou, fifth position. Alex Rossi sixth. Scott McLaughlin was seventh. Rosa Cliff eighth. Santini Ferrucci ninth, and Kyle Kirk was 10th. There was most of Ronald Christian Ramson, Marcos on-time mechanical issues, and whilst Graham Rahal got into various incidents as well, it forced him out of the race as well. But congratulations to Christian Lundgaard for winning the XPL Grand Prix at Road America on that one. And the next race will be on the 5th July, the fifth weekend of 5th July. That will be the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah. The next round is Mid-Ohio, 5th of July, so same day as the F1 British Grand Prix. Now it's time for a musical interlude, and this week we are going to be going right back with a Rocky-themed track tonight. In fact, should we go Rocky or should we go Poppy tonight? This group certainly have provided us with plenty of hits, for sure, that we all know and love. And this rock band certainly have got lots of tracks in their arsenal, from alternative music to the more kind of softer tracks that we used to listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you today with this song from Linkin Park, American rock band Linkin Park, played tonight with Burn It Down. Yes, the song. I'm just trying to find it here quickly. Burn It Down. We'll see you in a few minutes' time. Burn It Down, Linkin Park. Explosions broke in the sky. All that I
Told that lie, I played soldier, you played king. Struck me down when I kissed that ring. You lost that right to hold that crown. I built you up, but you let me down. So when you fall, I take my turn and fan the flames your face is burned. You were there at the turn, waiting to let me know. We're building it up to break it back down.
Burn It to the Ground there by Linkin Park. There as well. I have to say, one of my favourite Linkin Park songs actually. It's from their album. I think it's called A Thousand Suns. It was released in 2012. Yes, it's actually from Living Things. Apologies, Living Things. There, the band's fifth studio album released in 2012. A great song, I have to say. Really good use of like alternative electronic elements. Zach, what's your opinion on it? So I think it's one of Linkin Park's best songs actually since their early days.
It feels relevant for this weather. I mean, burn it down. Yeah, I feel like I want to burn it down with the heat on this moment. Yeah, it felt relevant. It's one of their little classics as well that you can sort of remember as well, that they sort of got into the more electronic sound and everything like that. But yeah, otherwise, it's a good track.
Yes, obviously next year marking a very sad milestone, 10 years since the death of Chester Bennington, the singer of Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester. As you guys know, obviously, he died in 2017 after One More Light was recorded. So, yes. Anyway, I thought we'd do a bit of a conversation streak to finish the show off. Now, obviously, I know Summer's been here and, you know, I want to end the show off with a bit of positive vibes, you know, talk about some of the good news stories that have been made across much of the UK. So I feel like summer is always about the time to enjoy yourself, whether it's a festival, whether it's going out on school trips, whether it's about being in general by the seaside. It is certainly things that you all want to do. Now, I want to quickly say something very, very important today. And this comes from someone, you know, I want to talk to you guys quickly about a seaside town that I think is really important to visit this summer. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk quickly about this seaside town, a place called Walton-on-the-Naze. Now, Walton-on-the-Naze is a place that I think, for a British seaside holiday, is worth visiting. You know, there's Parkdean Holiday Park up the road from there. Parkdean owns quite a few parks. But in general, Walton-on-the-Naze is a seaside town that I think's got a lot going for it. You know, you've got some lovely beaches. You've got the iconic Walton Pier, which serves in a way as a big reminder to everyone. And you've got Naze Tower. You know, Walton is just, I think, a very kind of, you know, it's kind of one of the best, really. And this article I'm about to show you proves why Walton really is a true seaside destination for locals here in Essex. Obviously, you've got Clacton and Frinton. I'll come on to them in a different episode, but this is Walton-on-the-Naze here for you guys, in terms of what this seaside town has to offer. And it's simply one of the best beaches for a reason. So, according to this, why is Walton one of the best seaside towns? It has a nostalgic charm to it. Now, it's located between Clacton and Harwich, offers sandy beaches an old-fashioned seaside atmosphere that has won praise from the Daily Express, according to this used here. You can actually see some beach huts there as well. He described the outstanding Walton Pier as a standout attraction. When a father say it's called his favourite in the UK. The pier is stretching 2,610 miles. It's the third longest in the country, behind Southport and Southend. Features fairground rides, bowling, skating rings, a large arcade. There's classic 2p machines, racing games, basketball, hoops, stuff like that. He even said on warmer weekend, it still feels relaxed enough properly to enjoy everything without spending half a day standing in queues. Walton-on-Menezes Beach offers soft sand, space to spread out with groins dividing the coastline and lifeguards on duty as well. The shop town also features classic seaside business, including fish and chip shops, in-bed cafes, and giving it much more modern charms. There's a picture there of the facade of Walton Pier as well. Beyond the beach, Naze, you've got the Naze Reserve, just 10-minute walk from the centre, offers walking trails, clay cliffs, and a chance to hunt for fossils as well. So Walton-on-Menezes is a real place to go here in Essex for a seaside holiday. Like, think about it. You've got Clacton down the road. This is some of the beach huts. I mean, look at that. You've got some beach huts there. And think about it, when it's like got really lovely weather, I mean, you'd think that the sea's going to be nice and clear. And you know, Walton is just an iconic place. It's always a place. You do have to travel quite far, particularly because it's right on the other side of Essex. I'm not going to lie. It is quite a trek from Clacton. I've done it before. Lots of slow roads. You know, it's quite tight in areas. But I think generally, I could see people coming down here for the summer, maybe for a couple of hours, maybe to explore. Say they're on the way to Clacton. I mean, Zach, what do you think about, say, Walton-on-Menezes? Do you think it deserves its place as one of the best seaside towns in the county of Essex?
I mean, you could say it's better than some of the areas in Essex, I have to say. And I think it's it's definitely nice. It's definitely better than, say, I mean, it's north of Clacton, so it's sort of in the Clacton vicinity, but it's obviously a little bit different, obviously, as well. And it's not that far off of Harwich as well, would you believe or not, as well. It attracts many visitors. The Naze and the Pier, the main attraction. It had a population of 690 as well. But it's got a lot of things as well. There's a coast there as well. Walton-on-Menezes River Station is on the branch of Sunshine Coastline. On the coastline there are many fossils we've had, and some have been found to be up to 50 million years old, including red crag and London clay. Interesting fact, I didn't know that as well. That was interesting, very interesting. Well, they've got the Walton Pier there as well. They have a memorial. They have a lifeboat house as well. It's known for its colourful beach huts as well. Interesting enough, if you can see as well. There was a reference to it on call. Port Walton is all featured on Assassin's Creed. Would you believe it or not? There was also a brief mention of it as well on EastEnders, on Call the Midwife. Would you believe it or not? So Walton's it's pretty popular, and it's got that sort of like it's just a nice pierside town. So yeah, definitely a really nice place to, I think, go.
These are all the attractions to do at Walton-on-Menezes. You've got the Naze Marine Holiday Park. You've got cafe at the Naze Nature Discovery Centre, Naze Tower. You've also got East Coast Distillery as well, where they actually make gin, believe it or not. The Naze Beach, Crag Walk, East Coast Distillery Shop. As I said, Naze Marine Holiday Park, owned by Park Dean. Albion Beach, the Naze Tower Cafe, the Naze Nature Discovery Centre, East Coast Distillery Shop, Faulkner Soaken. Honestly, I think Walton's a great place to visit. I've only been there. I've not been there for a while. I went there a couple of years ago when I was staying up in Clacton at the Orchards Holiday Park owned by Haven. And yeah, I think this park's got, but Walton-on-Menezes has got a lot going for it. I think this summer, if you're planning a trip down to the north of Essex, particularly obviously up to Clacton, consider stopping off here for a couple of hours. I think you'll get a really nice seaside town with plenty of things to do. I mean, there might not be as much to do as, say, at Clacton, but you've got some lovely walks. You can take your pets down. You've got your dog. You can take your dogs with you. There's some cafes there. It really is just somewhere to relax, enjoy the vibes. And I think Walton-on-Menezes definitely deserves a soft spot for Essex Seaside fans. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the podcast tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed the show, and it has definitely been a hot one tonight and a very muggy episode, for sure. Zach, what is the big news in the next week that you think will be the key part in UK politics?
How much of the government is going to be still standing by the time next week? I mean, literally their functionality is a little bit off, isn't it? So, yeah, it's sort of like we're getting to the dying days of the current government at the moment. So we're going to see what the dying days of the current government will be like next couple of weeks. Well, can't see too much activity going on, but yeah, we'll find out whatever hell happens over the next week or so. See if something does happen. I don't know what will, but we'll find out.
Yeah, so that is all, folks, from tonight's show. Thank you so much for watching. And also, take care if you're travelling outside during this heat wave. Make sure you drink plenty of drink and stay hydrated, and also stay safe as well. It's going to be a very hot one tomorrow, from what I've been seeing, and across Europe as well. And take care if you are travelling out tomorrow. Just remember a hat or sun cream if you're outside or whatever. As well, thanks for watching, guys. Take care and have a great rest of the month of June. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time for another edition of the Tonight Show podcast. From all of us, from me and Zach, it's